Summer run is in full effect. We're going to be taking a look at some on-chain data for Bitcoin today. Talk about how far we think this summer run may go. Take a look at a few Bitcoin miners as well. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships. We've got those now. We've got 3 different levels. You get some badges, you get some emojis, you get some shout outs on the 2 lower levels, and on the upper level you will receive some real-time trade posts and members only shorts, things like that for you for $24.99 on that one. It gets you everything I'm doing. Also check out Curiosities. They've got some great videos out there about financial fraudsters throughout history. Lots of very interesting stories to dig into here. If you're short on time, you can also go on the shorts. Most of them have a 1-minute recap of that video as well. And if you think that's interesting enough, maybe watch the whole video. If you find yourself over there after watching a TradeK video, comment TC on the video for me. That would be very much appreciated so they know where you came from. Just a quick sneak peek at what is going on the members only channel. This is some posts from yesterday when I was looking at target potential 3-to-1 R&R here, risk to reward. You can see I actually did end up buying one of those. I did adjust it a little bit and I let them know there immediately when that happened that I am gone in on some target. My trigger occurred. I've got a stop loss at 99.80 for my target calls here, 130 going into 116.2026 for target there. Just giving you a quick sneak peek as to what to expect over there on the members channel, as what you could be receiving there. All right, anyways, let's go and take a look here at a couple of things that are important. So first of all, we're going to look at the ISM data. So this is the ISM manufacturing data. Why is this important? It's important because whenever it peaks, we also see a peak in assets like Bitcoin miners, altcoins, and super high on risk items. Okay, well, this is what we watch in order to understand when that is going to take off. Right now, we're in a lead-in phase. You can see that we're actually doing something of a let me see, go ahead, indicators, there we go. We're doing something of a megaphone right now on this thing. So let me just go here like that, do one more, kind of like that. See how it's widening on the bottom and the top there? We're doing a bit of a megaphone there. Interesting. So it could be some wild swings, but we are expecting it to kind of like drive higher right now. We really want to see this thing get over 50. Once it's over 50, right now it's at 49, but over 50, and then if it holds over 50, it doesn't just plunge right after like it did these other 2 times. If it can hold over 50, we could get this spike, and that spike is what we're looking for. Look at back here. This is that March 2021 spike. Remember what happened then? I think you do. That's when Bitcoin topped out. That's when we saw some serious moves out of miners, out of altcoins and the like. If we go back to, let's see, 2017, notice here 2017, near the end of 2017, we peaked out around 60 here. September, there we go, like January 18, we were hitting 60. When this thing hits 60, that's usually going to be the end of the run. So I'm watching this right now. We're getting that lead-in phase right now, that lead-in that could potentially see it go up much higher. We're getting some bottoming patterns here. If we can get up above like 52 and just spike, that would be basically indicating that it is on. All right, let's go take a look at some Bitcoin on-chain data here. So we're looking at the rainbow chart here. Remember, I brought this up before. If you notice, if you look here to the left and then go forward, all the peaks are getting lower and lower inside of the rainbow. That's the diminishing returns concept here. Notice the first time we went way above the rainbow. The second time we went kind of above the rainbow. The third time we went to the very top of the rainbow. The fourth time we only went up, about 3/4 of the way up the rainbow. And this time we might only expect to see it slightly over halfway up the rainbow. So in this case, like if we go out to, let's say, November, yeah, we're looking at about, for that slightly above half point wave mark on the rainbow, about $371,000. Now we might end up seeing ourselves only coming up to the green level here at about $200,000. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. Yeah, it's like we might only see ourselves coming up to like something like this, right? Which would be $200,000, or up here like 278 would be getting right to the middle of the rainbow. And if we do that, like next time, like expect us to not get any higher than we currently are on the rainbow on the next cycle as things diminish over time. So that's the rainbow chart. Just wanted you to see that. Let's also look at the Pi cycle top indicator, see where we are on that. We're not really anywhere on that right now, honestly. We're not, let's go, poop. We're not, yeah, yep. Let me get a little closer there. Yeah, we're still kind of hanging out near the bottom of that Pi cycle top. The Pi cycle top says, let's see, about $170,000 is about where it is seeing us hit. Now, we do often go a little bit above that in previous cycles. We've done it pretty much every time before. We've gone a bit above that 350-day average. Yeah, you see every time we get a little spike above it by some kind of percentage point. Maybe it's, the last time it wasn't too much. Where, yeah, if we're where the price of Bitcoin was at 63, but the 350 was at 45. And other times, whoops, that's not what I wanted either. And other times, we've seen it go even higher. This time I expect it to be lower, so maybe only slightly above that. Maybe we only hit like 180, 190, something like that. That's the Pi cycle top. But Pi cycle top says this continues as well. Maybe we'll get our summer run. Will have us get somewhere in the middle of this thing right now, because currently price is 108. The top there is 170. The bottom is 96 on this Pi cycle top indicator. Maybe we get 130, 140 in the summer run. We'll see what happens there. That's it for the on-chain stuff I wanted to look at. Now let's take a look here. I haven't looked at the Gaussian curve in a while. Or Gaussian channel for a while. I want to take a look at that. First of all, though, technicals on Bitcoin say that we're still rolling. Now, on balance volume, so OB vol is not looking perfect right now. You can see that it is purple, which means it's a little less. Now it's about to cross up, which would be nice because we got the increasing BX, which is showing buying pressure. We've got the RSI at 60, which is showing bullishness. That's all good. We came into the center of the Gaussian channel, making this bull flag, and we are bouncing off the top here now and going further on the daily. If we go to a 3-day chart, I think that'll look even nicer. Yeah, 3-day chart, we came in, bounced right off the top, and we're going higher. That's really good. That's really bullish. If you notice last time here, we came to the Gaussian channel on the 3-day. We just plunged right to the bottom of it, made a double bottom, and then went higher. Okay, this time we bounced off the top twice. As long as we don't touch it again, as long as we don't touch that top again, so like as long as we don't touch $100,000 again, we could see this thing pop up to 120, 130, maybe even higher off of this bull flag. And that would be quite exciting. I would love that. And also, look, my criteria for an entry actually is happening right now. Look at this. So we got a higher high on the BX trender, and we're green here on the OB vol. And the RSI is above 50. So I actually have an entry criteria here to go along, which I did yesterday on BitX. I bought some BitX yesterday for my Bitcoin exposure for the summer run. And that is, I think, going to pay off quite handsomely for me there. Okay. Yeah, but we really got to hold $100,000. We cannot go, you see this little bump here on the volume profile on the right there. We really can't go into that space there or anywhere below it. We might be able to wick to as low as that 96, but we really don't want to see it closing candles down there. That would be quite bad. Also, yesterday was awesome for Bitcoin miners. It was awesome. Now notice IREN is slowing down. IREN is slowing down. Core Z is slowing down compared to its peers. Notice how everyone else is double digits except those two. Those two tend to run ahead and fall off while the others catch up. Okay, pay attention to that. If you're in IREN, watch it, because we're right at that top where we failed twice before. All right, this is that area where I'd be looking to cut if. Now, of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. You must do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and be responsible for your own risk, your own decisions. That's you. That's all on you. Anyways, basically, what I'd be looking at is, that's such a big candle. That's a 3-day. Let's go to a 1-day. Let's see what's going on that 1-day. All right, yes. Basically, see this big volume down here? If we get anything that goes beneath $14 on IREN, I'd be running. I'd be running for the hills and be looking for it to come back down to at least $10.50, maybe even as low as $9.50 after that, if it gets below $14 again. This IREN move could continue. It could be over. Basically, to know that it's going to continue, it needs to close above $16. It needs to close above $16. Notice how it tried and failed twice in the last 2 days. If it goes to 14 before closing above 16, that is that for IREN. It is going to come back down somewhere closer to 10 and reset for the last leg of this move in Q4. Okay, same thing with Core Z. How does that stack up to something like CleanSpark? Look at CleanSpark. We're not even close to the highs. We're not even close to the highs. In fact, we closed a nice bald candle, drove straight up. Look at this. This is a continuation candle here on CleanSpark. This is a continuation candle. Look at it. No wick on top, no wick on bottom, just straight up buying pressure all the way to the top of that thing. And we closed at a critical level, and in the pre-market, we're pushing above it. So we closed up there, and we're going to open higher and drive higher. This could be a gap up and go sort of day. Notice also how we got this exact same candle here. This is the exact same candle here on June 24th. And look at that. We had a gap up and go situation. So we're looking for that right now on CleanSpark. That could fail. It could fail. It's not guaranteed. But that is the general expectation from this type of candle pattern. So we could be seeing this thing driving up to 16, 17, maybe even 18 in the coming days, which would be amazing for the warrants. Notice how this is not at its highs. It is at some sort of resistance, but it is closing above that resistance, trying to open above that resistance, whereas IREN is like, it's opening like at it, not above it. So if it opens up and drops, that's going to be bad for IREN. That's all I'm saying. Let's take a look at Mara. Mara, same thing. We closed above this big resistance area, and we are going to drive higher. That is a continuation candle, no wick on top, whereas IREN had a wick on top. Okay, not a big one, but a wick. Okay, on an area it failed out the day before. Okay, that's the difference. That is the difference. Pay attention. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so Mara, same sort of thing. I'm looking for Mara to move up to 20, 21 in the next couple of days, maybe even as high as 25 in the next couple of days. I'd like to see it drive up back up over 30. That would be fantastic. Let's take a look at IREN real quick. IREN is getting closer to its top right here. Now, it does have a tiny wick on top, which is not a huge deal. It is negative in the pre-market. So is Mara. Riot, I think, is coming into resistance, and it is likely going to like take a breather, maybe flag and go higher. Riot is a hard one to determine what it's going to do. It's a bit more controversial. We are on angle 2, I think, right now, right? Yeah, that's 1. This is 2, even though this looks parabolic. This is 2, and right now we could tap into this and then go into angle 3, which is basically going to be completely straight up. So take a look at that. Bit Digital, let's go over here. Bit Digital also, this is the ETH play. It is also looking like it wants to continue upward. It's up 5% in pre-market. I bought into this thing right here on this candle I bought half of what I wanted at $2 and the other half at $2.29. Bit Digital, I am back on Bit Digital. I'm looking for Bit Digital to continue its strength and to drive higher from here. If we come back beneath like 250, then I'd be looking to let this thing go. But as long as we're above that, I am looking for this thing to drive higher to 4 or 5, maybe even $6. That is what's going on there. Cipher, same sort of thing. It's not at its highs, unlike IREN and Core Z. It still has room to drive higher. It is hitting some resistance, but it does have room higher. I do think that we're going to get back inside of this channel here, which let me go ahead and just draw a ray on it to drive it out further. Let me just boop, and there it is. Lock that down. That would be getting back into that channel. I'm still looking for that to happen. Now, this one is parabolic, so I would be looking for it to continue for maybe a couple days, couple weeks, maybe holding around these levels. We'll see. The RSI is pretty intense on Cipher right now. Hive, I also got into Hive. I bought into Hive yesterday as well. Bought some call options on that bad boy. Yeah, this one broke above the resistance. It held above it. It closed above it. It opened above it. We got continuation candles one after another. The next level, we're in this pocket here of volume on the right that I've been talking about on all these things for a while here, and its resistance is 281. So that's like, and maybe even as high as $3, could potentially even hit 338. If it gets above 338, then it could drive to 456 from there. I took strategic risk down around like $2, right around $2, like I did with Bit Digital, and that is what I'm looking for. That move on Hive, that we got green on green with good RSI. This is looking like it wants to go higher, basically. Most of these are looking that way. Okay, anyways, that's all I've got for you today. It looks like the summer run is here. We are looking for this thing to continue on at least for the first 2 weeks of July. When we get into that third week, we might see some wobble here, maybe going into the fourth week and first week of August. That wobble could come as well. So we're going to be vigilant. And if we see weakness, that means we're done. And we're going to be waiting for those lows in September or October to reload for the very, very last leg up in this 4-year cycle to come through in 2025. Okay, we're looking for that very last leg coming through. Once that happens, There's going to be some big changes on the channel here. We're not going to talk about the Bitcoin miners as much anymore because they're really not going to be doing much other than going down from there for quite some time. We'll bring them back in full force once it appears a bottom or is being made for them sometime in 2026. But be aware of that. This 4-year cycle's coming to an end here. There's going to be some changes on the channel because we're going to have to change our strategy to survive and be ready for that. Okay, anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio. Don't forget to check out Capital Curiosities and the memberships for Trade Cave, and have a profitable day.